Adding strokes to our artwork is another fun and easy process, but there are some very cool new options in Illustrator CS5 that make things much easier. Let's take a look at using the distribute function to place lines in our artwork, then view some of the stroke options available, including the new dash line corners and arrowhead features of CS5. Alright, let's start by adding some dividing lines between these type columns that we created earlier on the A3 poster. With the shape of these lines matching the visual of the mountain silhouette, I think the lines can enhance that by being different lengths also to match these different shapes. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's open up our layers panel here and make sure that we unlock our type layer, which is where those shapes are stored. And whilst we're here, we'll also turn off our guides just to make it a bit easier to see. Now I'm going to zoom in all the way down here, and whilst we're down there, let's maybe go Command Y or Control Y on the PC to go into outline mode, because we'll draw the lines first and then we'll play around with the stroke options. So make sure the type layer is selected. Let's come over to our tools and go ahead and select the line tool, okay? Now this is fairly straightforward to use. Anywhere you wish to click and drag, any direction, you can draw a straight line, okay? Just going to undo that. What we want to do is create one that matches the exact height of this middle section here. So what I'm going to do, position the cursor on the upper right hand side of our frame, click and drag all the way down to our intersection right there, okay? And we've generated a line of exactly the right length. Now this is why we're in outline mode, because we can't actually see a stroke applied to this. Now again, I'm going to go back to the main selection tool so we don't accidentally draw new lines, and we can go ahead and select this one and maybe just nudge it a millimeter or so to the right hand side. Now when it comes to alignment and basically wanting to center these lines perfectly centered between each of these elements, there are a couple of ways that we can do it. Alright, I'm going to put that back where it was. Remember that when we generated these, we drew a shape and we split it into a grid, and we made sure that we had, I think, 5 millimeters between each one. Well, knowing that half of 5 millimeters is 2.5, we could bring up our move dialog box at this point and say, horizontally, let's move 2.5 millimeters across. And as you can see, that gives us an exact center. So that's one option. You know that one now. I want to show you a different one that we haven't seen yet. Let's go ahead and cancel that. Again, I'm just going to nudge it so we can see it slightly different to the others, but it's still aligned to the top. What we can do instead is let's go ahead and select all three of these shapes, both text frames on either side of the line and the line itself, and then come on up to the align options here in the control panel, or indeed over here in the align palette. We can come down here and make sure that we have align to selection highlighted. Now everything up to this point has been aligned to artboard, and we use key object as and when we double select our key object, but this time we're going to use align to selection. When we have that done, we can come over here and say horizontally distribute the centers. Go ahead and click that. It perfectly centers it in that location for you. So very, very easy to do. You have two options there. Choose whichever one suits you at the time.